Welcome back to Coins Numismatic series, your ultimate destination for diving deep into the stories, secrets, and staggering value of the coins that shaped history. Today's episode is going to blow your mind as we peel back the layers of one of the most iconic commemorative coins in American numismatic history, a coin that marked the 200th birthday of a nation, carried the face of its founding father, and became a staple in millions of pockets, yet hides incredible rarity and collector drama behind its modest appearance. This is not just any quarter. This is the 1776 to 1976 George Washington quarter-dollar coin, a bicentennial treasure with a legacy worth exploring. So buckle up, grab your magnifier, and let's journey into the past to uncover every detail, error, and collector tip you need to know about this celebrated coin. Let's start with the origin story of this legendary coin. In 1976, the United States of America celebrated its bicentennial, 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. To honor this historic milestone, the U.S. Mint took an unprecedented step, redesigning three of the most circulated coins in American currency, the quarter, the half-dollar, and the dollar coin. It was the first time since the 1930s that circulating coins received a temporary makeover, and the quarter was one of the standouts. What made the 1776 to 1976 quarter instantly recognizable was its dual date, 1776 to 1976, stamped right under the bust of George Washington. That alone set it apart from every other Washington quarter before it. But the most significant change was on the reverse, the tail side. Instead of the traditional eagle design, the reverse featured a majestic colonial drummer, a young boy in full regalia, confidently beating his drum. Beside him flies a victory torch, surrounded by 13 stars, one for each original colony. This iconic design wasn't just selected internally, it was the result of a public design competition launched by the U.S. Mint in 1973. More than 1,000 artists submitted entries, and the winning quarter reverse design was created by Jack L. Ahr, an artist from Arlington Heights, Illinois. His colonial drummer scene became a visual symbol of the American spirit of independence and patriotic youth. The inscription on the reverse reads, United States of America, across the top, E pluribus unum, above the torch and drummer, and quarter dollar, at the bottom. Now, let's talk composition. The 1776 to 1976 quarter was struck in two primary metal types. The standard circulation version was minted in cupronickel, a blend of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. These were minted at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. However, there were also special 40% silver versions struck at the San Francisco Mint, intended primarily for collectors. These silver quarters came in both uncirculated and proof sets and were not intended for general circulation. Speaking of mints, let's break down the mintage. Between 1975 and 1976, over 1.6 billion bicentennial quarters were struck. Yes, billion with a B. That massive production number means that most of these quarters are still relatively common in circulation today. Here's the breakdown. Philadelphia Mint, over 809 million cupronickel quarters with no mint mark. Denver Mint, around 860 million cupronickel quarters marked with a D. San Francisco Mint, roughly 7 million 40% silver uncirculated quarters and around 4 million 40% silver proof quarters, both with the S mint mark. Additionally, more than 7 million cupronickel proof quarters were struck by San Francisco, also bearing the S. With mintage in the billions, you might be wondering, are these coins even valuable? Great question. In circulated condition, standard cupronickel quarters are typically only worth face value, 25 cents. However, things change dramatically when you look at uncirculated or proof specimens, especially in pristine condition or with unique errors. High-grade mint state, MS, examples, say MS-65 or higher, can fetch anywhere from $5 to $25, depending on demand and the grading service. However, it's the silver-proof versions and the error coins that truly stir the excitement among collectors. The 40% silver quarters are always worth more than face value due to their metal content alone. Even a circulated 40% silver bicentennial quarter holds a melt value that fluctuates with silver prices, generally ranging from $3 to $6. In pristine proof condition, those same coins can sell for $10 to $30 or more. Now, let's talk about those juicy errors, the wild cards that make collectors' eyes light up. One of the most coveted errors is the double die obverse, where parts of the inscriptions, particularly, "In God We Trust," and the dual date 1776 to 1976, show doubling under magnification. These aren't common, but they're out there. Collectors have paid upwards of $500 or more for confirmed high-grade DDO, double die obverse, errors. Another rare type is the off-center strike, where the coin is misaligned and parts of the design are missing. A 10% to 20% off-center bicentennial quarter, especially with visible dates and full details, can fetch $150 to $300 or more. Full off-center errors, 50% or more, are even rarer and more valuable, though they're less often found in circulation. Then there are clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin appears as if someone took a bite out of it. These errors, while not unique to bicentennial quarters, are highly desirable in this context and can sell for $50 to $100 depending on the severity and visibility of the error. Struck on wrong planchet errors, such as bicentennial quarters mistakenly struck on a dime or nickel blank, are the holy grail for error collectors. These rare occurrences can sell in the thousands depending on their grade and uniqueness. But there's one more surprise hiding in plain sight: satin finish varieties. In 1976, some coins struck for collectors came with a softer, satin-like surface, different from regular uncirculated and proof finishes. These are rare and highly sought after by die-hard registry collectors seeking to complete their top-tier sets. Now let's zoom out a bit and talk collector interest. Despite its high mintage, the 1776 to 1976 Washington quarter holds a special place in American numismatics. It was the first and only circulating quarter in U.S. history to feature a design other than the Washington Eagle reverse until the 1999 state quarters program began. Its symbolic value as a bicentennial marker ensures steady collector demand. Collectors often seek high-grade examples certified by third-party grading companies such as PCGS or NGC. A perfect MS-67 or MS-68 can dramatically increase a coin's value. In fact, an MS-68 example of a Denver Mint 1776 to 1976 quarter once sold for over $6,000 at auction due to its flawless preservation and stunning eye appeal. Silver-proof coins graded PR-70, the absolute pinnacle, also command premium prices, sometimes exceeding $1,000 depending on market conditions. Add deep cameo contrast, and the value only goes higher. So how can you tell if your quarter is one of the special ones? Start with the mint mark. Look just behind Washington's ponytail. If you see an S, your coin came from San Francisco and could be silver. Weigh the coin. A standard cupronickel quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. While the silver version tips the scale closer to 5.75 grams. Not a huge difference, but enough if you have a digital scale. You can also perform the ping test. Silver quarters give off a higher pitched, bell-like tone when gently tapped. Also, inspect the fields and devices under magnification. Doubling, sharp strike, and clean surfaces can help you determine if you have something worthy of certification. Sending your coin to PCGS or NGC may be well worth the investment if you suspect a rare error or top condition. And now the big question: should you keep, sell, or spend? If you find a worn, circulated 1776 to 1976 quarter with no special mint mark or silver content, it's safe to say it holds only face value. But hang on to high-grade examples, silver types, or anything that appears off-center, doubled, or unique. Those are the sleepers that could one day pay off big. In conclusion, the 1776 to 1976 George Washington quarter-dollar coin isn't just a piece of change, it's a historical artifact. It captures the pride of a nation, the artistry of American minting, and the thrill of modern coin collecting all in one. Whether you're hunting rolls from the bank, browsing a flea market, or searching through Grandpa's old change jar, always keep your eye out for this bicentennial beauty, because you just might hold history in your hands. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep collecting, keep learning, and keep the history alive.